Hello everyone and welcome back to my playthrough of Alan Wake 2. Last time we continued the expansion, the Lake House, as we went further down into the different sub-levels, learn more about the Marmonts, relationship with each other. They're married, but they seem to hate each other. They're to say they're competitors, aggressive competitors with their different researches is putting it very, very mildly. We also came across Edward Booker, who is writing the story about the Marmonts for what it's worth. He's basically the one that's kind of like creating the background for the ATDs, the automatic typewriters, to come up with like different Alan Wake pages. We also found out that Jules Marmont has officially been possessed by the shadows, and that Subject P, the Lane, what was the Rudolph Lane, is dead, and he seems to be the painting that we're talking to. We also got a level 3 keycard and have access to the lower sub-levels, sub-level 4 and 5, I believe. So that's where we're going. Oh, we also got a gun that can shoot, or that can kill the paintings that come out. Since we're right here, let's see if Booker has anything new to say. Nope. Did we look at this computer? Oh, right. Oh, there's a password right there. 1, 2, 3. Security reminder, we read that one. We read that one. We read that one. We read that one. Holy shit. Jules just sent out a memo asking us to spy on his wife's project. Remember when we just made fun of his stupid project names and science factoids? Simpler times. He really did that? Diana's gonna slit his throat if she finds out. Haha. Those two are such a hot mess. I got drinks with Perry last night and he told me Jules is withholding Wake pages from Diana's team. He told her they went missing. Crazy shit. Paula mentioned you two were thinking about asking for a transfer. You'd really leave me here all alone? We can have weekly gossip calls. Promise. Nope. Won't happen. Don't wait for it. No, we never really explored this area, actually. Last time we just ran by to go to the elevator. Let's turn on a flashlight. It's kind of easier to see without the flashlight. Team notice. As you may know, a valued member of our team was recently reassigned off of Project Arbutus. Carla Livingston's designs and engineering expertise were a key part of the creation of the ATDs. Their contributions to the project cannot be overstated. Team Project should rest assured that their reassignment was an error that should be corrected soon. Our project director, Dr. Diana Marmont, would like to remind all team members that any directives or assignments from Dr. Jules Marmont have no bearing on Arbutus staff and should be ignored. Thank you for your attention. Oh, jeez. Okay, there was still someone there. Background report, Rudolph Lane. In 2010, Lane was inadvertently involved in AWE 35 while residing in the Cauldron Lake Lodge, where he lived under the care of Dr. Emil Hartman. Yep. I remember seeing him in the original Alan Wake game. Lane was seriously injured during the AWE. He received medical care in Seattle for 2 months, during which time he was questioned and cleared by FBC staff. After the Cauldron Lake Lodge was seized and closed by the FBC, Lane moved to Wateree, Washington, where he currently resides. Recent surveillance confirms he has no known personal relationships or affiliation with paranatural groups. As requested, the observation team has confirmed that Lane continues to paint as of the date of this report. So I'm guessing that's before they took him. Before they kidnapped him. Okay. So I'm just gonna go check ground floor real quick. Oh, I can't.
No access back to the lobby. Great.
Just see if I miss
One way to
any.
go.
Only if I miss any level 2 doors or level 3 doors, I can't remember. Okay, we're going down to level 4.
Sir, please hold.
This is not level 4.
Please hold. Please hold.
What do you know about Rudolph?
The Marmonts were holding a painter here. Rudolph Lane. Does that ring a bell?
The shape of a man.
I think you are, or were, Rudolph Lane.
Himself, a self-portrait. Make them see.
Look, I might be able to help you. But I need information, cooperation.
No brush, just himself.
Rudolph Lane was dying. Both murderer and victim.
Murderer.
Red hues ran down his hands. Was it scarlet? Or cadmium? Too vivid to be maroon. Names don't matter, he decided. Color was pure. Inspiring. For the first time in years, he wanted to paint. A self-portrait. To say goodbye. No. To make them remember. To make them see what they did. He slapped his hands against the wall to steady himself. He began from there. No brush, just himself. The strokes were crude, violent. The pain, misery, and hate he'd endured there. The fire in his eyes and hands and bones all spread into the shape of a man. It was quick. Natural. Like a heart attack. He slumped down to the floor, smiling at the anger he left smeared across the wall.
So he did do it himself.
Sublevel 4.
Research archives. I like how there's actual paint that's starting to smear on Kieran's coat, on Estevez's coat. So this is Diana's level.
Ooh, nice office.
I mean, it's alright. I mean, are you talking about the one at the very end? Yeah, it does look pretty nice. Certainly stands out. Oh, something here. Yep. Okay. That's a bug.
Come on. Okay, black rock powder. Need to keep an eye out for more of these.
Amen to that. So again, just kind of looking around. All right. Oh boy. Oh. Oh shit. So not all of them come to life. That's good to know.
Diana sat in her office. A weak desk light kept the darkness around her at bay. The silence of the archive suited her. She scowled at a series of graphs when the room turned red. Alarms blared. Breach detected. Then the walls of the archives rumbled. A tremor in the bones of the facility. One by one, the red lights went dark as a wave of nothing poured in from all sides. Diana stood, but there was nowhere to run. The sheer depth of the darkness terrified her. She realized they had done this. Her and Jules. Their ambition. Their hatred. Her desk lamp flickered. In the brief moment before it all went dark, she thought of Jules' smile.
She realized at the end it was all them. It's all their fault. Really, bro? He literally just went up to me like, eh. I don't know if I'm backtracking because there was another way there. Okay. Let me go back this way. Never mind, I can't. Yeah, I'm guessing if I go too far in, the darkness is going to overtake me. Annual report, threshold study. Progress in the Lake House's directive to understand and suppress the Cauldron Lake threshold has improved this year. Research in the areas of threshold energy detection and measurement have made great strides, allowing us to work with the investigations department in the construction of an early warning system near the shore of Cauldron Lake. I'm guessing that's that outpost, that small outpost that we saw, where we originally saw. Not Yako, the other brother. What were they called again? Kolskov brothers? Something like that. Exploring the relationship between the shadow and the source of light continues to be difficult without active threshold manifestations to test against it. Additional means of containment and offensive measures against the shadow have similarly been difficult to develop without an active AWE, though theoretical research continues. Research into threshold suppression techniques is ongoing with no clear determination regarding their viability possible at this time. The team has been testing counter-frequency projection in the vicinity of Cauldron Lake per mandate, well, whatever, with all findings being sent to Dr. Darling as requested. In summary, 20 2017 has been a successful year without further promising breakthroughs predicted for 2018. Research mandate. Before Dr. Darling was lost in the lockdown of the oldest house, he tasked the lake house so all this took place after Darling went missing. So that's interesting. Sorry, it's just some stuff is just clicking into place in my head now. So the emails that we're reading saying that the oldest house is closed, there's no more Black Rock production. That's after Jesse took over. I thought it was all happening around the same time, but apparently not. So by this point, by 2020, so it's taking place like in the actual years the games have come out. It's kind of like it's following the timeline in our real world. Okay, before Dr. Darling was lost in the lockdown of the oldest house, he tasked the lake house with discovering the nature of shadow and its ability to convert art into reality. During our diligent research into this phenomena, it has become clear that Darling was not dreaming big enough, which leads us to the new goal of the lake house and its talented staff: to create a stable connection between the Cauldron Lake threshold and our own dimension. Threshold traversal has only ever been possible inside the oldest house, and occasionally during altered world events, though this is often an involuntary process. The Shadow's known attraction to art provides us the perfect opportunity to create the world's first controlled bridge between dimensions that can be safely traversed in either direction. A laboratory will be built on sublevel 5 where experimentation related to linking with the threshold will be performed. This location will take full advantage of our proximity to Cauldron Lake. In this lab, we will simultaneously develop machinery that can connect with the AWE site in the lake and use art as a focal point to create the bridge. Precise methods are yet to be determined, though teams will soon be formed to explore processes involving art as a dimensional anchor. Reality manipulation via art and machine-assisted coupling. Signed, the Marmonts.
Of everything that I've ever known. Deep breaths, slow, gotta take it slow, 'cause that's the fastest way that I know. Deep breaths, 6 deep breaths till the pain subsides. 6 deep breaths.
Not that I don't appreciate the music, but I don't want music, in the playlist, in the video, and we have stuff to read and listen to.
September 13th, 2023. Notes regarding the concept of the tortured artist. A romanticized image of the sensitive artistic temperament, yes. But there may be truth in the cliche. It's no secret Rudolph Lane has been unhappy here for years. But, the aggregate data shows his art's viability score trending upward over time. If Jules hadn't neglected to hold regular psychological exams, then we could have quantified the subject's emotional state, creating a sort of distress rating to compare against the art score. I'll make this a sub-goal of my study of Edward Booker. Once we set the variables and establish a control reading of his art and mental state, then we can begin inducing negative emotion. Limited food and water, perhaps. An increasingly tight living space. This is how Jules lost his subject, though. Need to be careful not to leave any sharp objects in Booker's cell.
Like a pencil or a pen? It's kind of impossible. So many documents. All right. Project Arbitus, the definition of art, a study. To truly comprehend the threshold within Cauldron Lake, we must first understand its attraction to art. However, even the definition of art is as varied as the range of crafts that fall under the name. To that end, we must open a track of research dedicated to defining and quantifying art, ultimately rendering the concept into a unit of measurement. To begin, let's not try to understand humanity's definition of art, but rather Cauldron Lake's preferences. Past cases of Cauldron Lake's threshold affecting reality have centered on writing, Awake in 2010. Cinematography is also suspected, though not directly confirmed, Zane in 1970. What about other mediums? We will need to test viability of painting, poetry, music, photography, sculpting, dance, and so on. Not to mention the myriad of genres or methods within each medium. What about crafts outside of the most common artistic expressions? Does any act of creation on a high level of expertise merit the title of art? Baking, woodworking, etc. What about non-physical mediums? Why is music an art and philosophy is not? Does something become art due to its medium, its quality, or perhaps simply through the intent of expression? Or an equation made up of all three? What would be the order of importance? What thresholds must each factor reach for the equation to succeed? Clearly, there's much to determine. We must begin with developing a methodology using a vast range of arts and general creative endeavors, both physical and mental. Then, find a way to test our potential connection to Cauldron Lake's threshold. Cauldron Lake is an enigma, with many layers to pull away if we are to understand it and ultimately bring it under control. The work will take years. Follow-up report. On the morning of Redacted, the musician held at the lake house for research purposes was discovered missing from her cell. Security footage of the cell from the night before was damaged by electrical interference of an undetermined nature. Redacted, known professionally as Redacted, had produced a song called 6 Deep Breaths during her time at the lake house that was considered very promising as research material by the Marmonts. Redacted somehow used her song to orchestrate her escape. Efforts to find Redacted were brief, with any wider search considered an unacceptable risk to the lake house's mandate of confidentiality. Action to be taken. A. An investigation is currently ongoing as to whether any staff of the lake house were involved in the disappearance of Redacted. B. An investigation is currently ongoing as to whether the subject used a song they created as a redacted means of escape. C. All material related to and work produced by Redacted will be stored in the archive for future reference. D. Online checks for the public reappearance of Redacted are to be performed weekly, known web addresses associated with Redacted in the past, known addresses with para-utilitarian/AWA activity, Redacted, This House of Dreams, Blogspot. I wonder if these are actual websites. Siren Society, etc. For the update to follow, for the up-to-date full list, refer to Redacted. Oh man, I'm getting tired of reading.
The lake house was underwater. The Marmonts' ambitions had finally been realized. Jules had dangled the painting like a lure and hooked an ocean. Their machines couldn't hold it. A fault in the system. The water rushed in, filled it until it was ready to burst. All their successes and failures had led them here. The work had made them into monsters. But the lake house was still theirs. It always would be. They could feel an outsider trespassing in their labs. "I know you're here," they called out to the dark. They hunted floor by floor. They wouldn't let the intruders stop their progress. This was their home, their beloved tomb beneath the waves.
Okay, 6, 8, 5, 2, 8. Alright, start from the very back. Letter from Darling. Diana. I just received a letter from Darling about a request you made to bring in live subjects. What were you thinking? Do you know how that looks? What did he say? Was it approved? No, he refused. You know protocol does not allow this sort of thing. And he says he'll be making a trip to the lake house to check in on us soon. Like we're children. This is very bad for our reputation, Diana. Please, if you have an idea like this, come to me first. Diana, considering the details on the new page we have found, I believe we need to abandon the research into Alan Wake's writing. We must not endanger our staff. Don't pretend like you're worried for them, Jules. You're just looking out for your own ass. The fact that the pages are detailing future events means they're the correct method. We have to learn how to harness their power and dictate events to meet our goals, not Wake's, whatever those may be. The ATDs are producing better and better results. We just need to keep doing the work. No, Diana, I'm looking out at the page right now. Constant imbalance, out of control, a crack in the lake house. If we continue with this research, we will lose our facility. Perhaps more than that. What is the point in succeeding if we are dead? I'm a head of research here, and I forbid you from proceeding. You can't forbid anything. You're not going to keep me from the most important work of my life. If you're too much of a coward to keep pushing ahead, then I'll finish what we set out here to do alone. We have plenty of ongoing lines of research. I suggest you pick one and leave Wake's writing to me. You always needed me more than I needed you. Oof. Hello, Dr. Marmont. I received your formal complaint about Jules' behavior. You claim he is maliciously keeping research material away from your team, but he says that they have simply been misplaced. I understand you're frustrated, but I recommend giving his team a week or so to find the pages and return them to your team. If this issue persists at that point, then let's discuss your desire to escalate the issue. Does that sound agreeable? The other thing is, like, consider the fact that they have offices on, like, complete opposite floors. Like, Jules is on, like, the ground floor, while Diana's is on sub-level 4. You know what I mean? And they're supposed to be, like, co-founders of this area. Or not co-founders, but, like, co-researchers, co-head of research. Got it. Am I gonna have to fight you, Jules? Or not Jules, Diana. Okay, so what's going on here? Okay, I guess we're done in research.
Gotta find that elevator.
And that's what I was trying to do. Oh.
Tomorrow? I can't find the details anywhere. That bastard is hiding them. All those years, he steals credit for my ideas and my work, and now he's scared of being plagiarized? Oh, that is really fucking rich, Jules. Oh, and he's reportedly misplaced the manuscript pages I need for my work. Suddenly, the exact pages that I need to reference have just vanished. He is actively impeding critical bureau research. I mean, if he can do that, then what is stopping me from going down to that lab? And I don't know, just inverting the amplifiers or misaligning the receivers or both. It's the same thing in principle. He booked the lab. Some big experiment tomorrow. I can't find the details anywhere. That bastard is hiding them. All those years, he steals credit from my ideas and my work, and now he's scared of being plagiarized?
This doesn't look like Lane's style.
That is really
Different
fucking
artist.
rich, Jules. Oh, and he's reportedly misplaced the manuscript pages I need for my work. Suddenly, the exact pages that I need to reference have just vanished. He is actively impeding critical bureau research. I mean, if he can do that, then what is stopping me from going down to that lab? And I don't know, just inverting the amplifier.
All right, I'm silencing the sound from the game just so I can read this. All right. Dr. Casper Darling to the Marmonts. Something to get you started. I couldn't stop thinking about this new direction for the lake house after I got back to New York. I hope pivoting to researching Threshold Redacted's reality manipulation effect wasn't too much of a shock for you. Seemed like your work on containment was stalling, so I decided you all could use a fresh start. Here's something to get you started. Some drawings made by a certain Redacted a while back. Test for any reaction you may trigger with a shadow. Still don't like how unscientific that name is. You can designate the artist as P6 in your records. I expect regular updates. Go team!
He can do that. Then what is stopping me from going down to that lab? And I don't know, just inverting the amplifiers or misaligning
Quick lesson on light switch
receivers
cords.
or both.
If you find one, pull it
It's the
3
same thing
times.
in principle.
Right, I remember that. Just give me a second. Go around again.
He booked the lab. Some big experiment tomorrow. I can't find the details anywhere. That bastard is...
There we go.
The Ocean View Motel is a dimensional intersection. The doors from the lobby can lead anywhere. But I didn't end up in the lobby this time, which was definitely unusual.
Huh.
Panopticon? But the Panopticon is at headquarters. Yeah.
I'm outside in a forest. The sun is shining. Birds are calling. I feel dirt beneath my feet.
Is that the brother? I forgot the name. Jesse's brother. Yeah, P6.
I'm Agent Kieran Estevez, Federal Bureau of Control. Identify yourself.
It's quiet.
Who are you?
It's been a long time since I've seen anyone.
This is an FBC containment unit. Why is the Bureau detaining you?
I'm where I belong.
Everyone I meet here is either a painting or a paracriminal.
There's a sign over there for the Panopticon. The Panopticon's only in New York, in HQ. Is this the oldest house?
I think That's where I am.
So you are inside the oldest house. Is anyone else alive?
I can't.
This is a waste of time. Hey, this is important. FBC headquarters went dark 4 years ago. What exactly happened in there?
We were attacked. No, no, not again. Not yet. No, 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 no.
Hey, stay with me. Stay with me.
Okay. Okay.
So it went dark, which means that they haven't heard from the oldest house in 4 years. So I guess even after the events of the first Control game, the lockdown is still in effect. I could swear we lifted it. Like once Jesse became like enlightened and basically imbued like the identity of Polaris into herself, and got rid of the hiss, well, as much as she could. I thought the lockdown was basically being lifted. We were just, I mean, you can still go around and like kill hiss, but that's like residual hiss. So it's still, huh. The only other thing I could think of is time works differently in the oldest house. So Jesse hasn't cleared the lockdown yet in the real world. That's the only thing I can really think of. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get some answers by the end of by this expansion.
What attacked the oldest house? I need to know.
Something's changing. Outside. Can you feel it? I can hear it. It's getting worse. You can't stay, can you?
Hold on. I need to know if I can.
Tell Jesse I tried. I really did.
He booked the lab. Some big experiment tomorrow. I can't find the details anywhere. That bastard is hiding them. All those years, he steals credit from my...
Okay, down to the 5th floor we go.
Oh, Jesus. 1, 2, 3.
Sublevel 5.
6. No.
The Marmonts had opened the door into Cauldron Lake's threshold. It was forced. It was unstable. Shutting the experiment down was the only option.
Hi, Jules. It's Diana. He's already dead.
Typical fucking morons. Threshold's about to fracture. Where'd she go?
Go. What hit me?
Threshold's about to fracture. Where'd she go?
Oh shit. Okay.
What the Marmonts did to you, to Rudolph Lane. I will do whatever I can to make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen again.
The putrid weight he could never wash away!
The Marmonts are dead. I don't know if that's any sort of consolation, but it's done.
It was all over him!
The threshold is tearing itself apart. I need to shut this down. Look, I'm sorry. I know you didn't make a choice here. It's not fair, but I have to shut this threshold down before it fractures.
We're gonna see Saga now.
Agent Estevez stood in the forest just outside of Bright Falls. She watched her team detain Alan Wake and Ilmo Koska, stuffing them into black SUVs. She realized this was the moment Wake had been writing in the vision she had seen. The story was coming true. She pushed the thought out of her head. It had been a good tip, a way to find Wake. Nothing more.
Alan Wake!
After the threshold event collapsed, I was back at Cauldron Lake. But for a moment, I was somewhere else. I saw Alan Wake there. He was writing about me finding him in Bright Falls, in the woods. It was a good tip. I called the surviving members of my team, and I told them to meet me there. You know, these cases, they never get less ambiguous or easier. But this one, this was tough. Because protocol says entities like the Taken are monsters, threats. But the Marmonts were monsters way before the Shadow got to them. So at the end of the day, what's the difference?
Okay.
Deep press, deep press.
Okay, and that looks like that is it for the lake house. So that basically, yeah, closes the chapter on Alan Wake 2. Yeah, nice little side story. Doesn't really have anything to do with Alan Wake 2 game that I can remember anyway. It's just like a little, you know, prologue to Estevez before we officially meet her in the proper Alan Wake 2 game. It was a good story. It certainly raises a few more questions Like again, the oldest house still being dark. No word for 4 years. That's crazy to me. I don't remember them saying anything about that in the actual Alan Wake 2 game. So yeah, still dark after 4 years. Which, again, to me means either time works differently in the oldest house, which I think they did kind of state. Because, you know, space and time are irrelevant in the oldest house, right? You can go in an elevator and pop out somewhere completely different. And there's like different doorways that open up and shit like that, right? So either Jesse's ordeal hasn't finished yet, or there's something else going on that's preventing the oldest house from coming out of lockdown, which I guess would come out in Control 2. It's been officially announced that they're working on Control 2, which is great. I can't wait for the game. I love the original game. I love Alan Wake. I love the whole universe. These guys at Remedy are fucking... I feel like they're the new Hideo Kojima in terms of like the madness that they can create in these video games. It's also a series that I feel like you either love it or hate it, but most people love it, especially if you're into horror. It's a great game in the horror genre. So this certainly whets the appetite for Control 2. Again, the only thing I wouldn't be looking forward to is the amount of documentation you have to read, the amount of lore. Like, I love reading it, but reading it takes a toll on you. I gotta make sure I got a large bottle of water nearby whenever it comes out. So anyways, yes, that is it for Alan Wake 2. Overall, great package, fantastic package, certainly worth however much it is, however much it was. I think $80, something like that. Even if it was $100, it's certainly worth it. I believe it's on sale nowadays, so you can get this game for half that price, and it's easily worth it. I'll probably be playing through the Lake House maybe again before, like me personally, I probably played again before Control 2 comes out, just to kind of refresh my memory on some stuff. Probably rewatch my video on Control as well, just to kind of catch up on some stuff. But yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling. Alan Wake 2 is officially done. Thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate all of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.